closer, right? I'll fix it. Just hold on a second. No, I'm المحمود. الأمر. Okay. Am I in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just come from.
Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وأهلا وسهلا بكم مجددا من خلال هذه النافذة التي دائما وأبدا بإذن الله ستكون منبع ومنطلق للخير لكل ما هو يمني ويمني أمريكي. وعدتكم صفحة المغترب منذ إنشائها بالتعاون مع جمعية التجار وأيضا وعدد من المؤسسات اليمنية الأمريكية بأنها ستعمل جاهدة على خدمة أبناء الجالية، على خدمة أبناء جاليتنا بكل وشتى الطرق التي تتيح لنا أن نقوم بذلك. نحن هنا مع الأستاذ عبد السلام مبارز، الوجه الغني عن التعريف، رئيس جمعية التجار اليمني الأمريكي ورجل الأعمال اليمني الأمريكي، ونحن هنا في مكتب شركة الأستاذ عبد السلام. وأيضا نحن هنا مع ضيف كبير على جاليتنا، ضيف نحن نتتبعه منذ سنوات على أمل أن يأتي إلينا، ولكن جدوله المزدحم لم يتيح لنا، ولكن اليوم مسكناه لكم. إنه المحامي المختص بشئون الهجرة رافيل ارينا، ومعه اليمني الامريكي ابن هذا المجتمع الذي يعمل في مكتبه عمر صالح. اهلا وسهلا فيكم. Welcome Rafael.
Thank you very much for having me.
We're gonna go Salam. As you always do.
Right.
You open up for us and you lead us.
شكرا أخ زيد، على أساس يعني أنكم تكونوا موجودين وتعلنوا لجاليتنا اليمنية الأمريكية في منطقة نيويورك وما حولها عن الخدمات التي يعني نقوم بها من أجل مصلحة الجالية اليمنية في المنطقة، ونرحب بالمحامي الذي إن شاء الله بإذن الله سوف يقوم في العمل الذي يخدم جاليتنا اليمنية والذي عندها الخبرة الطويلة الكبيرة من أجل خدمة مجتمعنا اليمني، وهذا ما نريد منه. وأيضا شكرا للولد عمر صالح يعني مدير مكتبه على أساس للحضور يعني في هذا المكتب، وبإذن الله تعالى سوف الأخ زيد ناجي سيتساءل مع المحامي على أساس كيف يقوم في العمل الذي بيخدم الجالية اليمنية. وبإذن الله بعد اللقاء مع المحامي سوف نعلن لكم الخبر السار والمفاجأة الذي دائما احنا نعمل فيها ك يعني مجتمع يمني أمريكي وجمعية التجار اليمنيين الذي يعني بتقوم على أساس خدمة المجتمع اليمني في مدينة نيويورك وضواحيها. وبإذن الله تعالى سوف تتفاجئوا وتشوفوا إن احنا دائما نخدم المجتمع ونعمل جاهدين على أساس مصلحة مجتمعنا اليمني الأمريكي.
Thank you, Brother Abdel Salam. Before we introduce our guest today, and we will have a conversation, deep conversation, general conversation, and announce a semi-partnership that we are still working the boundaries and the final outlook of it. أشتغل لكم حاجة. I want to tell you one thing. أولا وقبل كل شيء، كما تكرم الأستاذ عبد السلام مبارز، بعد قليل بعد هذا اللقاء لدينا مفاجأة سارة لكم، وفيها في البث الذي سيتلو هذا سوف نرد بشكل غير مباشر وبشكل عام على بعض الشوشرة التي سمعناها من الذي لا يعمل. نحن هنا نعمل، نحن هنا نقدم لكم الإنجازات، نحن هنا نأتي بالخبراء، نحن هنا نحل القضايا، نحن هنا نطرق أبواب النظام ونأتي لكم بالخيرات ونشغل الناس وغير كل ذلك. سوف نتطرق لذلك في لقاءنا في البث القادم بعد هذا البث بإذن الله، الذي سيكون ربما بث تاريخي. أرجوكم شاركوا البث وانقلوا الأمر لأنه سيكون بث تاريخي. سنعلن عن الإنجاز الأكبر في تاريخ الجالية. With all that said, Brother Rafael, we consider, I don't know, you look Yemeni, you deal with Yemenis all the time. Maybe it's time for you to get, for Brother Abdel Salam here in this office, which is one of the heart of the Yemeni American community, to just officially make you a Yemeni American.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, and I am honored to be an honorary Yemeni American. If you guys will have me, that would be great.
We will.
You know, the food is great, the people are great, everything's great. So the no qualms about accepting that offer from me.
Thank you very much. And before we also introduce our brother Omar, I want to give a little bit of background. Don't let his age fool you. This guy is a big lawyer. عضو محامي قام يعني أمام المحكمة الاستئنافية بإحدى القضايا التي تصب يعني عمل arguments يعني حامة أو مرافعة من أجل قضية من قضايانا. هذا محامي يعمل في شؤون الهجرة، ومعظم متابعين الصفحة من أهل يا نصيب وأيضا المهتمين بشؤون الهجرة يعرفون من هو. فهو محامي قدير لديه سمعة، وأنا شخصيا I personally dealt with him and I have several clients that I pushed to his office and he worked very professionally and the clients were happy and that's why we are here. احنا كان our promise to the Yemeni American community is that we will bring about to the table those who could help them. We think Rafeel and his office and our brother who work with him are those people. رافيل is a محامي مختص في شؤون الهجرة وقد حام في الكثير من القضايا ويعمل مع عدد من أبناء جاليتنا وقد عمل مع أبناء جاليتنا. قبل أن نعود إلى رافيل ونبدأ حوارنا دعونا نعرف بابننا. عمر، كيف الحال؟
الحمد لله.
الله يحييك. عمر طبعا يشتغل في المكتب. عمر صالح ابن رجل الأعمال اليمني الامريكي الشهير أنجل صالح، وهو بمثابة بوابتكم. جزء من تعامل من يأتي من خارج الحدود مجتمعنا هو إن احنا لا نفهمهم ولا يفهمونا. Raphael and his office have hired Omar to be that person that understands you and who knows about the culture and help maneuver and make sure that we are served well. Omar, can you tell us a little bit about yourself or maybe about the office and why? And I know you've worked a lot with Yemeni Americans.
Yeah, I've worked with on a lot of immigration cases. I sort of understand the concepts of how these cases are being processed and how they're handled. And so my job is to basically understand the case from you. You explain it to me. I go back and I explain it to Raphael. And together we'll find a solution if there is anything that we can do to basically help you or help get your case handled. So,
and you guys have dealt with a lot of cases, right?
We have dealt with a lot of cases, yes, a lot of cases that were in Sana'a from the early 90s, 2000s, cases that were terminated by the embassy in Sana'a. We've also handled people whose passports were taken in the embassy in Sana'a in 2012 and 2013. So we handle a lot of those cases, yes.
Okay, جميل جدا. Raphael, our first question, can you give us an introduction about your story? Every human being has a story. How you become a lawyer and what are you, just introduce yourself to our community.
No problem. My name is Rafeel Arena. I was born in Hawaii.
Wow.
My father was in the Marine Corps. He was born in the Dominican Republic. He's an immigrant himself. He met my mother in Brazil, who was also an immigrant. So the immigrants are very dear to me. From a very young age, I wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to help people. So I went to law school in American University in Washington, D.C. After law school, I went to work for the Bronx District Attorney's Office. And after that, I started working as both criminal defense and immigration defense at the same time, sort of the intersection of where those two meet. And I fell in love with immigration work. And then I began doing immigration practice exclusively. And then I started working a lot with Yemeni cases, and I thought the Yemeni cases were some of the most interesting cases and the most compelling. You have people coming from a beautiful country who are trying to work hard here in the United States to provide for lots and lots of people back home and to create a better life for themselves and their family, and with very, very bad things happening to them and in an area that they didn't understand. So I kind of gravitated to the community, and we've done great work with Omar and I on those types of cases, and we've helped lots and lots of people. Omar put it mildly, but Omar himself and I have helped thousands of families come to the United States and help them stay here in the United States together as families.
جميل جدا. I will summarize it just a little bit. كما كان الوعد لكم، والأخ رافيل سيحكي باللغة الإنجليزية لغتها الأولى، وأنا سأقوم يعني تلخيص. الأخ رافيل من هاواي، خريج جامعة امريكان، ابو والديه مهاجرين، ويشتغل في الهجرة والجريمة، يعني محامي هجرة ومحامي criminal law. وحاليا you just work immigration now
solely immigration practice now.
اوكي. وعجبته قصة الهجرة، محامي الهجرة، والآن يشتغل محامي هجرة ولديه مكتب. And your offices are where?
We have an office in Brooklyn now and San Diego.
Oh,
so we have two. Yes, it's very beautiful. So when it gets too cold in Brooklyn, we go to San Diego.
Okay, that's smart. معه مكتبين، واحد في كاليفورنيا والثاني في بروكلين، وإن شاء الله قريب في البرونكس، غمزة.
Very soon in the Bronx.
Yes. So yes, our ultimate goal is to bring to the table those who know. It's a lot of talk. مجتمعنا في ناس كثير يتكلموا، في ناس كثير يشوشروا، وأنت عندما تنظر إليهم لا يصنعون شيء. مجتمعنا يمتلك الكثير ولكنه ليس لديه. إحنا مجتمع مهمل، ما فيش حكومات، no governments، ما فيش organizations، قليل جدا جدا. وأيضا حتى الشخصيات وحتى العاملين وحتى الإعلاميين بشكل أو بآخر يسيئوا. ونحن هدفنا هنا في جمعية التجار اليمنيين الامريكيين وفي صفحة المغترب اليمني الامريكي وكل المؤسسات التي نعمل فيها أن نأتي بمن يعرف. إحنا ما إحناش محامين، بس مش محامين، تاجر وكذا. نأتي بمن يعرف، ممن تعاملنا معه وممن شهد له الكثير وممن لكي يقوم بالعملية. رافيل, what do you say about the percentages of Yemeni Americans in your office? Approximate number?
Right now, approximately is probably 50% of Yemeni Americans are handled in our office on solo cases. We have large group cases from people all over the world for the diversity visa practice. That's a very large swath of what we've been doing for diversity visas. But the solo cases that we have for individuals are about 50% are Yemeni cases.
50%. 50% من زبائننا يمنيين أمريكيين، ولذلك هو مهتم لكي طبعا الحياة أخواني الكرام، كيف الحياة تكون؟ Life is about aligning interest. هذا الرجل, this gentleman who we as leaders are responsible for saying that we work with him in his office and we see them fit to serve you. He's going to bring to the table his expertise and his knowledge, and we have in our end to give him our business. That's how life is, and this is how it's going to be, and this is the promise, inshallah. The days الأيام التي كنا فيها كيمنيين أمريكيين نذهب إلى من هب ودب ونظلم ونهمل قد ولت. أصبح لديكم الآن شخصيات ومؤسسات تعمل على خدمتكم. Rafeel, speaking of the diversity, let's now dig deep a little bit and say what any general talk for Yemenis about diversity, something mistakes they make, advice you give them, and also can you take us about the couple cases that's still pending regarding those who were wronged before?
Right, so those who are attempting to apply for the diversity visa, they must pay very, very close attention to their application, right? There's a lot of people that say that they'll fill out their application for them for a small fee. And that's okay, right? But to pay very, very close attention to what's in that application, so that when they have the opportunity to go before the consular officer, everything is correct and they can get their chance to come to the United States.
That's a very important point. Let me say it. نصيحتي لأصحاب اليانصيب نصيحتي لهم هو التالي: كونوا يوم تعبوا ما تخلوش أي واحد يعبي لكم، واهتموا اهتمام كبير جدا جدا بموضوع الابليكيشن، الاستمارة، لأنها تعبئة الاستمارة بالطريقة الصحيحة هي أولى الخطوات وربما أهمها عندما تذهب إلى السفارة. Do you see mistakes of Yemenis having their application wrong, applied wrong?
Yes, I do. I see a lot of mistakes with names.
Okay.
And the names and the date of birth on them. And when they make those types of mistakes, those seem like small mistakes, but they can lead to being denied a visa. So just to pay attention to the forms and not take anybody's word at face value, to review their forms before they're submitted.
Okay.
To take full
Or go to offices that are been
trusted, very trusted.
Have experience.
Correct.
Well, experienced, and I think when those applications when that person is completing your application, I think you should sit with that person and review the application before submitting that.
ساعدنا بالعربي بالانجليزي اشاورك ولا ماشي؟
لا لما تروح عند شخص يعني يعبي لك الابلكيشن right and you apply تعبي الدايفرسيتي فيزا يعني نصيحتي is to تجلس معه تراجع الابلكيشن اللي بتقدمها because اي غلطه اللي تكون فوق الابلكيشن مش الدي اس 260 الابلكيشن حل ما تعبي
الاستمارة عندما
تعبي حق النصيب.
اوكي.
so اذا عبيت قلنا الشخص عبى لك على اساس يعني ان انت متزوج ومعك طفل معك 2 اطفال وما له سجل طفل لما يحددوا لك المقابله في السفاره وتحضر المقابله it would automatically disqualify you because ماشي ذكرت الطفل الثاني.
اوكي.
so ولا تاريخ الميلاد برضه
يعني اشياء بسيطه
could get you disqualified من from that.
النظام الامريكي يعمل. نحن مش في اليمن. هذا النظام هناك نظام وأنت عندما تذهب إلى القنصل أنت تذهب هو يرى سواد وبياض وهو يعني يشوف إجراءات ووثائق وغير ذلك فالأفضل أن تهتم بالأمر من الخطوة الأولى. رافيل, those people who are wronged, do you think they still have an opportunity?
Well, certainly that's being considered by the Court of Appeals in DC. So in my practice, brought in 2020 and 2021, we brought 2 cases to right the wrongs of what was going on. So with the coronavirus, correct. And a large part about the Muslim ban was part of what was going on still in 2020, right? And we were successful. We actually won the case in front of the first judge. Now the government was very displeased by that and took the case to the Court of Appeals. So there's about 15,000 visas now being considered. They're preserved and they're still eligible for 2020 and 2021, and we'll see what the Court of Appeals says. If the Court of Appeals says, I agree with Raffaele Lerena, he's right, he's a genius, he got this case approved, and then we'll have those from 2020 and 2021 will have an opportunity to apply for a diversity visa.
And this case has been argued?
This case has been fully argued before the Court of Appeals, and we are just waiting for a decision. And I anticipate the decision will probably be in the end of January, beginning of February. We'll probably see some action at the Court of Appeals on the diversity visas for 2020 and 2021.
حديثنا مع رافيل هو حول قضايا اليانصيب الذين ظلموا أما بتداعيات قرار الحظر أو تداعيات إغلاق السفارات في كورونا. مكتب رافيل قدم دعوة استطاعوا أن يحطوا على جنب 15,000 فيزا بموجب حكم قضائي للفائزين في عام 2020 وعام 2021 عام 2020 و2021. وللأسف الشديد الحكومة حتى في ظل هذه الحكومة الصديقة وهذا أمر مفاجئ جدا ويدل على عجزنا نحن كناشطين في الضغط على الحكومة. لا زال الحكومة عادي بتحارب القضية هذه. من المفروض أنهم يعطوا الناس فيزهم لكنهم أخذوها إلى المحكمة الاستئنافية. ورافيل وأنا قرأت الكثير من الأمور حول هذا الأمر أبلى بلاء حسن في المرافعة ونحن ننتظر الحكم في هذه القضية. نحن ننتظر الحكم في هذه القضية التي ستعين أقل شيء 500-600 يمني وإحنا عارفين إنه 560 يمني كل واحد منهم سوف يأتي إلى هنا 20 شخص من خلفه سوف يستفيدوا عوائل أسر أصدقاء. فالموضوع ليس موضوع الأشخاص فقط الموضوع موضوع وطني ولذلك نحن هنا نحارب من أجله. نعود رافيل regarding the 2017 case ياما and I need to highlight this. في ناس كثير يتحدثوا عن ماذا صنعت جمعية التجار اليمنيين الأمريكيين وإحنا سنطلع لكم في بث آخر ونخبركم ماذا صنعنا. جزء مما صنعناه بأننا سمعنا تألم أبنائنا في عام 2017 ياما heard. سمعنا أبناؤنا تألموا أصحاب اليانصيب في 2017 وقمنا بحملة إعلامية استطعنا أن نجد 50 صحيفة لمن يتساءل حول الشوشرة ماذا تصنع الجمعية 50 صحيفة وقناة منها CNN وغيرها كتبت عن هذا الموضوع. وأيضا أتينا بالأيادي النقية وقمنا بحملة $20,000 أرسلت لأهلنا في ماليزيا من الفائزين لكي نتيح لهم فرصة. والأهم من كل ذلك في تلك الفترة قمنا برفع قضية بعنوان المقرمي versus تيلرسون على أمل أن نبقي قضية أبنائنا الفائزين في عام 2017 وهم حوالي في تلك الفترة 300 أو 400. وكما قلنا 300 و400 ضرب 20 يعني احنا نتكلم عن آلاف الناس سيستفيدون في عمل وطني. رافيل, that case المقرمي, do we still have hope in it?
There is still hope. So that case is before Judge Chutkin in DC. Judge Chutkin is a Jamaican immigrant, so
yes.
she's very sympathetic.
I actually attended the first.
So she is, and then she also was the judge presiding over one of my subsequent DV 2021 cases, and that case is before the appeals. And that case that I brought was actually shaped much by Omicron, so thank you for bringing that case,
okay.
because I took a lot about what you guys did and pushed the needle a little bit further. But if we win at the Court of Appeals, it's likely that Omicron will also be successful, and that there will be an opportunity for 2017 winners who were refused visas under the Muslim ban to have an opportunity to apply those visas. Judge Chutkin has stayed that case. What that means has stopped that case to wait for that decision to come.
They connected basically and indirectly.
Correct.
Okay. شوفوا مرة ثانية وثالثة ورابعة وخامسة العمل المنظمات التي تعمل. وعبد السلام أنت عارف أنا وأنت كنا أيضا أسماؤنا وأهالينا من ضمن الدعوة اللي رفعت.
طبعا
يعني معنا قضية من 2017 حق لي نصيب. 2017 لا زالت القضية حية ومرتبطة بالقضية التي رافيل رفعها في عام 2020. وإذا صدر حكم في القضية ألف سوف يؤثر على القضية باء، بمعنى أن هناك حوالي تقريبا مش متأكدين بالرقم 1000 نفر 1000 يمني سوف يستفيدون بشكل مباشر، وكل 1000 يمني أن تضرب من بعدهم 20، يعني نتكلم عن 20,000 يمني. هذا ما تقوم به جمعية التجار اليمنيين الأمريكيين، وهذا ما نقوم به الصفحة، وهذا ما نحن. رافيل المحامي المختص في شؤون الهجرة الذي اليوم معنا هنا عبر هذه الصفحة ومع هذه الوجيه، he was not 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
2 months ago,
September. He was in front of المحكمة الاستئنافية، كان أمام المحكمة الاستئنافية. نحن لا نتكلم عن حديث دواوين أو حديث مطاعم أو حديث مقاهي أو حديث مفسبكين، نحن نتكلم مع أناس يعني professionals, established, credentialed human beings. This is good news for us, Rafia. I know personally, and you know, I send you all those videos all the time. We have people in Malaysia that just basically left in there. I saw a Yemeni, شفتوا هنا اليمنية بتصبط ورد صح لكي تعول أسرها. She was making bread behind the صح. You know what happened to her family if they come here? She will be well. Her family will be well. They will send money back home. This is real stuff. This is issue. This is very huge stuff. So, Rafil, the Yanasib, we tackled it from what needs to be done beforehand and the couple of cases that affect our community. Any general advice or for past winners or for future winners?
Stay informed. Information is key. Those who have the information first and who act on the information first, if it's in their favor, will likely will have the best chance to get their visa. So it's all about getting into information about what's going on. If you don't have the information, you're not going to be able to capitalize on the opportunity. So
and we will, Yama, in the صفحة and all, we will work with you to coordinate any positive news so they could.
The first call I will make will be to Zayd.
All right. Well, listen. Because I bother him, he knows. I call him, he's in airport, I call him, he's in everywhere. And we are, احنا منتظرين حكم. احنا منتظرين حكم. And I think it's, I read the reviews, everybody feel good about your argument.
I think the argument went very well. Me and the Republican judge had a back and forth, but I think at the end the Republican judge agreed with me, and it was a very good discourse between me and the Republican judge. So we're very, very confident that we will succeed. But it's up to the court now.
Question: anything us as activists زي عبد السلام رئيس الجمعية ومتبرع وله علاقة مع السياسيين وغير ذلك. Anything we could do to help these stalled cases? I guess you told me the other day, tell the government to drop, right?
Right. I think at this point, the government has made its decision. What the community needs to do is to create a safe space to get real information, to create that space where real, genuine information can be disseminated to the community. Because when that order comes out, if it's in his favor, it's almost 16,000 people are going to be trying to get the visa, and there's going to be a lot of rumors going on. So we got to tell the truth from the not truth.
And we also going to have 60,000 people fighting for that 15,000 visa.
Correct.
And as much as we love our Iranian friends, Syrian friends, but I'm sorry, الأقربون إيش؟ نشتي أكثر عدد ممكن من اليمنيين. عمر, general information, معلومات عامة عن بالنسبة لليانصيب سواء أنا الماضي.
Just for this, I wanted to
عربي ساعد.
لما الشخص يربح بحظ نصيبه يستلم الايميل من KCC or
Let me make sure that
KCC. Once they send out the email, يعني نصيحتي تعبي DS 260. The issue we had يعني مع بحظ النصيب last year was اليمنيين اكثرهم ما كانوا يعبوا الاستمارة، كانوا يفكروا انهم يعني منتظرين المواعيد بس ما عبأوش DS 260. واذا ما عبيت DS 260 ورسلت لهم ان سبمت DS 260 ما يحطوكش بالخط انهم يحددوا لك واحد. And so في يمني السنه الماضيه اللي المكاتب هول كانوا يقول لهم انت منتظر موعد لما جاوا لعندنا رفعنا لهم قضايا بالمحكمه طلع انه ما عبأوش الاستمارة.
يعني والاستمارة هذه يعني يرسلوها بعد الموافقة ولا كيف؟
ساعة ما تستلم الايميل من KCC انه يعني ربحت بالحظ النصيب لازم تحبي DS 260.
نعم، وهذه المفروض تشترح لهم زي او قناه بشرح لهم انه عندما ترسل اليك هذا الاستمارة الرد بالموافقة لازم انه ترد عليهم وتعبي الاستمارة وتعيدها الى المؤسسة هذه اللي ارسلتها لك على اساس يحق لك بالفيزا. ان لم ترد عليها يعني تقريبا الموافقة عليك بتكون صعبة والمحامي والذي يعرف عنها.
السنة الماضية كان في أشخاص اللي الكيس نمبر حقهم was very low يعني 3,000
ما عبوش
11,000 أشخاص اللي رقمهم يعني their case numbers 22,000 23,000 كانوا يستلموا مقابلة من قبله. But the reason why يعني السبب إنهم ما كانوا يستلموا المواعيد is because ما كانوا يعبوا الاستمارة and they never sent it. So.
Okay, can I ask you a question regarding that? Do we notice? I know a lot of Yemenis use anybody who talks about this. Sometimes just a Facebooker from behind the store. They ditch information in the public space, and people get confused. Do we see mistakes occur from offices? That cost people opportunities.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes it's just misinformation. That costs them their opportunity to apply. They should work with reputable professionals that know the space. And how you do that is you do word of the community. Who's doing good work and who's not doing good work.
Okay.
What I would just explain to Zaid was that last year we brought a few writs for some of the Yemenis, and once we filed the writs, the AUSA was stated that they haven't submitted the DS 260.
Right.
And so they were never put in line to be scheduled for an appointment because they had never submitted that application. And so by the time they submitted that application, 15,000 people was ahead of them.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, and then that goes back to knowing who's on the form. Make sure your email is the email that they use, not a fixer's email or somebody else's email is being used, so that you get the information or the applicant gets the information and they can do what.
And I'm sure once this relationship is formed in the ground, once your offices are set up, we will do seminars, whether through Yama, the Zoom, or even in person, to let people ahead of time.
Right.
Now we only speak in generally. Question: we do have in the community a lot of political asylum cases, especially since the war. We have a lot of visas who wants to change status and stuff like that, and we also TBS issues. We have that when we've been seen across the board stalled. they all stalled. We have political asylum cases that are there for 5 years. In fact, I do have a client right now who wants to transfer to your office regarding that. First of all, I want to know, do you help, or is there anything you guys could do? Second, if you don't mind, can you tell us what would be the process of anybody who watched, or for us or for Abdul Salam, how the process in your office goes in, where it goes and how long and what are the expectations? We know and I know nothing is guaranteed. ما فيش حاجة مضمونة هنا. الإنسان المضمون إن الإنسان كفء ويعمل ما يجب ومن بعدها تأتي أمور أخرى.
So this is probably the most common thing I see among the Yemeni community is delay cases. Right? The American government has taken, I would say, a disfavorable view against Yemenis for all the wrong reasons, right? So they're enhanced security. And every time there's an extra step that an immigrant has to go to, there's more chances for delay, right? If you have to do an FBI security check, if you're going through a special process, that means the case can be delayed longer and longer. And it's very sad. We see families that are separated for way too long, 5, 6, 10 years, 15 years, for something that another family from another part of the world would take 6 months to do, and that family can be.
And that needs political work?
That needs political work, but it also can be handled by an attorney. It's called what's called a mandamus lawsuit. I go before a federal judge and I say, this is taking too long. You need to make this right.
And you have done that before?
I've done that, and then that's really where we've seen the quickest work. And what happens is somebody comes to my office, I prepare the lawsuit within 30 days, and I make a promise to that person that I'm going to file in 30 days. I file that lawsuit, and then once that's filed, it's before a judge, and the government has to come and answer before that judge in 60 days. Generally, what we've seen at USCIS asylum cases, I-130 petitions, is those cases are resolved in 90 days.
All right, question. Do you file a lawsuit for one person? You could do that, or is it a class act, or how?
We can file it for one person. I've been trying to organize Yemeni to bring it all together to see when it's, because sometimes I see systematic problems, right, that applies to almost every Yemeni.
That's where we step in.
And that's where we step in, and it's great to have partners like Yama, who've done the al-Mukrami case with a group of people, right? And it brings attention to that, because the judge just doesn't see, looks at it and says, well, this doesn't seem, maybe this would happen only on this case, but if it's happening to everybody, maybe I need to pay a little closer attention.
Great news. This is great news. And أخي الكبسي إذا أنت لا تسمع شوف بنكلم عن القضية حقه، وأيضا أخونا الصايدي في جيبوتي صديقي ما نسيناكمش. Delayed administration process.
Yes.
I have a friend of mine who's been, his whole family separation is occurring. They give citizens, they give visas to part of the family in one family, and they take months, some of them years.
Right.
Anything we could do, or anything, does your office help people like that?
Yeah, administrative processing should take between 30 and 60 days.
Okay.
It should take between 30 and 60 days. When it takes longer than that, I start to get concerned, and we can bring a lawsuit in much the same fashion.
So anybody, أي واحد, and how much the lawsuit, is it costly, or is it?
It's somewhat costly. We work with payment plans sometimes, but generally what I charge is $5,000 to bring.
Okay, $5,000. That's for cases.
For
and I'm
per person.
for
And
one
then for group cases, we work out deals, and if we can bring a lot of people together, we can bring the price.
And Yama will work through group discounts and all of that. يعني جمعيته التجار. طبعا للأخوان الذين لديهم قضايا متعثرة، نحن هنا في الصفحة بإذن الله سوف نعمل. And Omar is also going to join us hopefully soon as an admin, and also is going to be able to answer many questions and give general, يعني بيعطيكم توجه. لأصحاب القضايا المتعثرة مكتب المحامي رافيل could help. In fact, I have 3 or 4 in my, right now as we speak, come up. I have a friend of mine, Yahya Al-Kibsi, he's right there, he just called me yesterday. And honestly, Yemeni Americans are willing to pay if they could have a semi-guarantee that the cases is resolved. What are the success rate for
the success rates on administrative processing cases that they will get a decision is very high. Almost in every case we file, we get a decision very quickly on their case.
I would say 95%.
Is it positive usually? Most of the time, right?
Most of the time, because Yemeni are good people, right? They don't have anything to hide. It's just that the government is not doing their work. So
let me ask you this. If I give you just approximately 30 people with administrative process case,
Yeah.
We're willing to work that number a little to make it.
Of course, we can do that.
We could talk about that later, and then I'll gather them for
Of
you.
course, we can always work out things. And then at the end of the day, if people have exceptional circumstances that warrant pro bono work, I always take pro bono cases to help people.
And not only that, because remember, it's costing us too. So إذا بنكم بتجابوتي ولا كذا، أخواني الكرام ما لديه قضايا متعثرة بإذن الله سوف maybe me and Omar, we don't have to, you're a busy man. We could come in and talk to people and get specific information, or we could have a number and they'll call you and we could do that. I think there's a lot of cases like that within community.
I know, I see it every day. And so I'm ready to help.
Just one thing, maybe.
No. Okay.
So, when you want to file these cases, you have to be truthful, because the only way Rafeel would be able to tell you if it's the success rate of the case is if you're honest, right? Because there's cases where we would file and because he's under administrative process for 6-8 months, and then when we file the case,
it's only 2 months.
No, when we filed the case, they said he filed for a visitor visa in Sana'a in 2006 with a different name. So then he gets refused, you have to do a waiver. So
أي يمني أمريكي عندما تأتي للمكتب, and this is another work too, you have to put everything on the table.
Right.
Everything is fixable, right?
Especially with your attorney. I think the attorney is the person you should trust.
And everything is confidential, so anything you tell the attorney does
Yeah,
not
I know,
leave
there's a
that.
confidence, and this is part of our work. And I think, listen, as we are speaking here, وهذا هو لقاء عابر. هذا هو لقاء عابر. This is a general introduction to you, which I have worked with very much, and I recommend. And it's one of the trusted offices. You know, Yama, the Yemeni American group, and also the صفحة المغترب are going to deal with partners. مجتمعنا بحاجة إلى من يعمل معه ولديها الكفاءة. And I think this should lead to a lot of pain resolved.
That's our goal, right? That's where we're out here.
So, once again, the political asylum cases, we could usually move that faster.
Yes, we're moving political asylum cases. We have several in our office. We did handle for the Egyptians, Syrians, Yemenis. All of these countries have.
You take that in front.
We take those cases and we move them.
And also, if they stall for 4 or 5 years, you could.
Oh, even longer. Some of them are very bad.
Yeah. Do you recommend that? Because I don't know, under the political climate, maybe it's better off to just. That's a different issue, right?
That's a different issue, and it's an issue that needs to be done on an individual basis, right? Because every case is different. Some people have cases that are like, this case is going to win. You have other cases that are not so strong. Maybe it's better for them to just wait the process out. So we do individual consultations, and we don't charge a dime for it. So
okay, good. So, all right. The office is in Brooklyn, right?
The office is in Brooklyn.
Okay, we'll post it, and we'll do a specific ad about that. Now, you told me, قال لي إنه رفع دعوة عن DNA cases and all of that. Family reunification and DNA. Right. You filed a lawsuit on behalf of.
I filed a lawsuit called Yemeni v. Mayorkas, and we challenged the DNA testing. So almost in I would say 2007, they began testing every Yemeni application for DNA. They were submitting a mandatory RFE. Now it wouldn't seem so bad if it was done quickly, right? Because most Yemeni, take the blood, I want my family here, no problem. But what happened is...
It's the inconsistency, right?
Yes, the inconsistency. And then they didn't process those cases, and those cases were taking 4 to 5 years, 6 years to get processed. That's way too long. And they were losing them too. I talk to people every day that says they filed a case in 2010 and they haven't heard anything. I mean, what is this?
And that's crazy. That means us as activists, and there's a disconnect here and there.
Yeah.
And we will work with Rafeel, and we'll have a lot of partnership here and there just to make sure that the community is served.
That's right.
General information before we set the specifics and we end this, because like I said, this is a general introduction. هذا لقاء عابر نعرف بمحامي قدير وابنه من أبنائنا يعمل معه ونعلن we are officially announcing an indirect relationship partnership with the Rafeel office and to serve the Yemeni American community. Any advice generally to?
Yeah. I think it's worthwhile for many people to just go and speak to an attorney. Many attorneys, immigration attorneys, provide free consultations. 15, 20, 30 minutes out of their day to go speak to an attorney, see exactly what the attorney says, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So go to a reputable attorney, take the time to speak to your case before you make any decisions on it.
If you see the practice, and I'm sure you are very busy, but grow even more, 50%, are you willing to adapt the culture, hire, for example, a Yemeni American woman, or a call? I know you already got Omar and stuff like that, because I could see that. As you're talking, I see people around me and I envision the cases and I could see how we could drive them all to you and
well, my goal is to have 100 Yemeni staff in my office.
We have another one. We have Uthman, who's from Taz.
Azman, he's working with you?
He works for us.
Mashallah.
He's in Brooklyn right now. He's in the office. So
Yeah, we have also Arabic speakers. We have Hussein, who's from Morocco. We have Banan and Jenna, both Arabic speakers
Yes.
in my office, both attorneys. From Palestine, they speak Arabic. So many people in my office already speak Arabic and communicate very well with our Yemeni clients, so that they have all of the information in the language they can understand.
Many of our Arabic viewers complain a lot. They say, oh, you Zaid, and I speak Yemeni Amriki. First of all, I apologize for that. This is a Yemeni American page, and we speak in the general. We know that you exist. We love you, we respect you, we يحطوا فوق الراس هنا. And whatever comes, we fight for you. Whatever comes for you, it also comes for whatever we do for the Yemeni American is for the Arab American, is for the Muslim American, is for every and any human being. Again, we have a reputable office, معنا مكتب ذو مصداقية, and I would say our brothers and sisters who have cases stalled, political asylum, our brothers and sisters who have DS cases, وأنا سأذكر يحل كبسي, أخونا الصايدي هناك وغير, we have an avenue right now. معنا الآن طريق. إحنا قد طرقنا أبواب الساسة وأحيانا هذا الباب شوي يطول. We do go to the Congress and we will utilize that service too if you ever need us to push through Congresses to get the letters needed.
It can be very effective, so that's also advisable.
Just one minute.
Okay.
Did you look at the Steve thing or no?
Okay. So the idea is, I think all stars are aligning.
I think they are. I think it's going to be a magical thing.
Yes, let's do that. And I do have a friend of mine who wants to transfer to at least a consultation regarding the case. Political, good thing, they do live in Brooklyn. And I also have brother Yahya and many other things. And we will create new products that will cater to a community.
Yes, we're going
Is
to
that
create, well, yes, we have products and we want the products to be known to the community so they can make informed decisions and know what a reasonable price is. So,
Omar, I'm going to start with you and then we'll get back to our star here. General, نصيحة عامة, general final words.
Because we don't want to be charged.
my advice would be that don't listen to rumors. There's a lot of rumors that goes on where you have other people scaring other people. For instance, filing the lawsuit, right? Filing the writ of mandamus, and let's just say if your case is taking 3 years and you want to do something about it, you go to an attorney. Someone, for instance, we tell you let's file the writ of mandamus, and then تروح وتعلم أصدقائك or whoever and they tell you لا تعملهاش بيسحبوا عليك الجنسية ولا بيأثر بالمعامل حق. It's not true.
تأكد من المحامي.
استشير المحامي.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be it could be any محامي بس استشير شخص اللي عنده experience بهذه الأشياء. But that would be نصيحتي.
Okay.
Just
الأخ عمر يقول من الأخطاء هم يتعاملون مع مئات القضايا باليوم وعندهم المعلومات ويعرفون parents. يقول لكم لا تستمعوش للشائعات. الشائعات لا تستمعوش لها. Rafil, final word.
Well, just thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure to work with Yemeni Americans. And they really are just really, really great people. And I'm really happy to serve the community and to treat them right because they've treated me right. They've taken me from being a small attorney to being. It's really on their backs that I got to the Court of Appeals. Is with their help and so.
We're gonna push you upward.
Well,
to the Supreme Court.
all the way to Supreme Court, and
Yes.
then we'll.
And then we're gonna meet you, Omar Abdesalam. We're gonna meet the Yemeni Yanasib winners. we're gonna dance بنبترع ب JFK San
Celebration
Francisco.
party.
Yes, and I'm gonna work on my dance because yesterday I wasn't proud of myself. So yeah, Abdulsalam, final word.
Yeah, I'm going to say something in Arabic. على كل الذي كانوا حاضرين مستمعين للمحامي الذي موجود هنا. طبعا في قضايا كثيرة الذي اخواننا اليمنيين يعني موجودة لديهم بخصوص هجرة وبخصوص قضايا جنائية وبخصوص قضايا محلات وأشياء كثيرة. أنا يعني كشخص لي فترة طويلة في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية وأمارس العمل التجاري وأيضا أعمل في العمل العام بالنسبة في قضايا اليمنيين. أرجو من كل إنسان أنه يترك الشائعات، وعندما يكون عنده أي قضية لازم يستشير واحد مختص، والمختص في كل القضايا التي موجودة هو الذي قد يمكن يفيد الإنسان، لأنه في محامين كثر قد يمكن يقول لك أنا بستطيع أعمل لك يعني في القضايا الهجرة، قضايا الجنايات وقضايا الأسرية وقضايا كذا، ولن يستطيع أنه يركز على واحدة. فأرجو أنه عندما يكون عنده قضية اسأل عن المحامي، وإذا هو مختص في العمل الذي تريده هو الشخص الذي يعني تروح عنده. فقضايا الهجرة تروح عند قضايا هجرة، قضايا جناية تروح عند قضايا جنائية، قضايا تجارة تروح عند محامي قضايا تجارة، قضايا أسرية تروح عند محامي قضايا أسرية. وشكرا لكم، وبإذن الله تعالى أن المحامي الذي حضر اليوم هذا سيقوم بخدمة لكل اليمنيين، وأنا الملاحظ أنه قد عنده خبرة كبيرة وقضايا لليمنيين، فهو الذي يستطيع يفهم قضايا اليمنيين. إضافة إلى ذلك عند الولد عمر الذي عندهم مشاكل في اللغة وبيساعدهم،
وعثمان أيضا. عثمان
الذي عنده مشاكل في اللغة هو بيساعدهم. وأكثر القضايا التي تحصل في عندما تروح عند المحامي عدم معرفة شرح قضيتك بالتفاصيل. فشكرا لهم يعني بالحضور إلى هنا مكتبنا. Thank you very much and I appreciate that. So I advise everybody that they always should go to a specialist, and you guys are specialists in immigration.
Thank you.
And they have Omar that speaks the language, and most of the mistakes that they do sometimes is they can't explain it because of the language barrier.
That's right.
So you have both, and hopefully that everybody's going to benefit, and thank you very much all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you brother. Thank you brother Abdulsalam. شكرا لعبدالسلام. شكرا لرافيل. شكرا لعمر. ياما صفحة المغترب and all the institutions that we are part of، كل المؤسسات اللي احنا جزء منها تعمل على إنهاء آلام اليمنيين الأمريكيين. End pain. دحر المخاطر. Keep away dangers and create opportunities. This is our promise. نحن ننهي الآلام ونحرر الفرص نخلق فرص ونبعد المخاطر. One of the many ways to do so is to partner with those that knows. احنا ما احناش محامين ولا عندنا أي خبرة ولا شيء، ولكننا we know السلام knows انه هو رجل ناجح، وكل قادة مجتمعكم يعرفون بأن الطريقة المثلى لحل القضايا هي أن نأتي بالمختصين والخبراء في هذا الشأن ممن لهم رصيد وسمعة. احنا في ياما we outsource the problem. ما بنقدر نحل القضايا، لكن احنا نأتي بمن يستطيع أن يحلها. سعيدين جدا. We are very proud of this partnership which is in the early stages and it's going to lead to a lot of resolving of a lot of problems, and we are partners, meaning that we are here obligated to fight for Yemeni American interest and to make sure that they are being served, and we feel very comfortable with that, Rafeel and Umar. And I'm already in my head as we speak envision the amount of people whose life have been either stopped or they have been wronged that this partnership will solve. Again, بعيد عن الشائعات كما قال عمر، وقريب مما يبقى في الأرض من العمل الحقيقي، من الخبرة، من العمل الذي يبقى في الأرض. صفحة المغترب اليمني الامريكي، برنامج حوار مفتوح، كنا مع المحامي المختص في شؤون الهجرة رافيل ارينا، وايضا مع مدير مكتبه المختص في العلاقات مع اليمنيين الامريكيين وغيرهم عمر صالح، وكما هو الحال دائما وابدا مع رفيق الدرب اخونا الاكبر الاستاذ عبد السلام بارز رئيس جمعيه التجار اليمنيين الامريكيين. وابقوا معنا، انا وهبه نطلع نرويكم اكبر انجاز في تاريخ الجاليه اليمنيه في مدينه نيويورك. ان شاء الله نربط بالتلفزيون ونرويهم، لا نحن نقدر الانجاز، بنحاول ان شاء الله. نشوفكم بعد دقائق. شكرا رافيل، شكرا عمر. And let's do this.
Let's do it.
السلام عليكم.